Do you know what your dog actually does while you sleep? You might assume they're just resting nearby, maybe curled up at the foot of your bed or lying quietly on the floor. But once your eyes close, something changes. Your dog starts doing things you were never meant to notice. And some of these behaviors reveal more about how they truly feel about you than anything they do when you're awake. It's the meaning behind them, and you might be misunderstanding your dog entirely. Let's start with the strangest one. #1, they touch your face to check you're alive. Ever woken up to a wet nose gently pressing against your cheek or felt a soft paw tap your arm in the middle of the night? Most people assume their dog is just being affectionate or maybe trying to wake them up for attention. But something else might actually be happening. Dogs are extremely sensitive to human breathing patterns. When you fall asleep, your breathing slows down and becomes deeper and more rhythmic, and your body stays still for long periods of time. To your dog, that sudden change is noticeable. That gentle nose touching your face or that quiet nudge against your arm can be a simple check. Dogs evolved in tight social groups where members constantly monitor each other. If someone in the pack becomes injured or unresponsive, the others notice quickly because awareness keeps the group safe. When your dog nudges your face at night, they may simply be running that same ancient instinct on you. They're confirming something basic. You're still breathing, you're still moving, you're still okay. There have even been cases where dogs repeatedly woke their owners shortly before medical emergencies, like seizures or sudden drops in blood sugar. So know that late night nose bump isn't always about going outside. Sometimes your dog is just checking on you. And here's what most people miss. That's only the beginning of what happens after you fall asleep. To those 3 a.m. patrols aren't random. Why does your dog suddenly get up in the middle of the night? One moment the house is completely silent. The next moment your dog lifts their head, walks through the hallway, or stands by the door like they heard something important. It might seem random, but there's a reason this often happens during the quietest hours of the night. Dogs are natural guardians of their territory, and even when they sleep, their senses stay partially alert. Their hearing is far more sensitive than ours. They can detect distant sounds most humans would never notice. Car door closing down the street, footsteps on the sidewalk, an animal moving through the yard, or even subtle vibrations traveling through walls. When your dog suddenly gets up and walks around the house, they're not just being restless. They're running a quick patrol, that quiet walk down the hallway, that pause near the front door. That moment they stand still and listen, it's a security sweep. Your dog is checking the environment and making sure everything around the home is safe. And yes, that territory includes you. Even indoor dogs who have never guarded anything in their life still carry these instincts deep inside them. Protection is simply part of who they are. #3, they choose your blankets on purpose. Have you ever noticed your dog slowly moving closer to you during the night? Maybe they start sleeping across the room, but later you wake up and find them curled right beside your legs. Sometimes they press their body against your blankets or rest their head near your feet. It might look like they're just getting comfortable, but there's something more intentional happening. Dogs rely heavily on scent to understand their world. Your blankets, your pillow, and even the side of the bed where you sleep all carry your scent. And to your dog, your scent means safety. When they lie close to your blankets, they're surrounding themselves with the smell that tells them everything is okay. But there's another layer to this behavior. Dogs also release scent from glands in their paws and fur, and when they settle into a sleeping spot near you, their scent mixes with yours. This isn't about claiming territory aggressively, it's about belonging. In the language of dogs, sleeping together means you're part of the same pack. That quiet moment when they curl up close to you is their way of saying something very simple. This space is ours. For they stare into the dark for a reason. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and seen your dog sitting upright, staring toward the hallway or the door? The room feels completely silent. You hear nothing, but your dog is clearly focused on something. Before you assume something strange is happening, here's the real explanation. Dogs hear the world very differently than humans do. While people can hear sounds up to around 20,000 hertz, dogs can detect frequencies much higher than that. That means your dog is hearing things that simply don't exist in your world. Distant engine outside, a small animal moving across the yard, a neighbor closing a gate far down the street, or subtle vibrations traveling through walls. To you, the house feels perfectly quiet. To your dog, the night is full of signals. When they stare into the darkness, ears slightly turning back and forth, they're gathering information. They're analyzing sounds you can't perceive and processing movement you can't detect. They're not imagining things. They're simply experiencing a version of the night that humans can't access. #5, they quietly check on you while you sleep. Here's something many dog owners never realize. Men, sometimes during the night, your dog will slowly stand up and walk over to your bed. You're completely asleep, but they're watching you. They might pause for a moment, sniff the air near your face, or gently rest their head against the mattress. They're not trying to wake you up, they're just checking on you. Dogs are deeply social animals, and in natural packs, members regularly monitor each other during rest periods. Your dog may simply want to confirm that you're still there, still part of the group, still safe. After that quiet check, many dogs calmly return to their sleeping spot and settle down again. Most owners will never see this happen because it takes place in silence, in the dark, while you're fast asleep. But it's one of the small ways dogs stay connected to the people they care about most. Number why they relax completely only after they know you're safe. Remember earlier when we talked about your dog nudging you to check if you're okay? That's only the first step, because once your dog confirms you're safe and everything around the house is quiet, something else happens. They finally allow themselves to relax completely. Dogs are incredibly aware of the emotional state of the humans they bond with. If you're restless, moving, or anxious during the night, many dogs remain lightly alert. But when they sense that you're calm and sleeping peacefully, their guard slowly drops. Their breathing becomes slower, their muscles loosen, and sometimes they roll onto their side or stretch out fully while they sleep. For a dog, that position is one of the most vulnerable states possible because it means they feel completely safe. In other words, your calm sleep allows them to rest too. It's a quiet exchange of trust happening every night without words. While you're asleep, unaware of everything happening around you, your dog is still there listening, checking, watching over the place they call home. And once they know you're safe, they finally close their eyes too.